Hey ladies, good morning. So today I want to talk to you about negative self-thinking. So about last year when I first joined a challenge group, I cannot tell you, just how much of a pessimistic person I was. I think some of you know me personally. You went to college with me, you went to work with me, and you know that at some point during that time of interacting with me in those two areas, I seemed like I was just a really angry or just not a positive person. I didn't really have the best outlook on life. And that obviously affected my health, my well-being, and really my weight, honestly, because my negative self-thinking caused me to become an emotional eater. So I want to talk about negative self-thinking today. So there's really four, I guess you could say, types of negative thinkers. The first one is a filtering negative thinker. So this type of person typically will get a lot done during the day, let's say. They get a lot of compliments on their work. And then when they get home, they think of all the other tasks that they have to try to get done during the day, and they never take the time to fully appreciate all the compliments and all the work that they've gotten done. They're just thinking about the next thing they have to do, the next thing they have to do, the next thing they have to do. So they're not really kind of basking in the accomplishments that they've made throughout the day. So the second type of negative self-thinker is personalizing. So, for example, you could have a girls' night planned out with your girlfriends for, a week, couple months, whatever the case may be, and at the last minute, they end up canceling. You take it personally and you extrapolate it into, I must have done something wrong to offend someone. What did I do? You start over-analyzing every single thing, every text message, every phone call, every email, every type of interaction you may have had with that particular group of friends. So personalizing is number 2. Number 3 is catastrophizing. So kind of like a crazy word, but pretty much you make a catastrophe out of everything. So as an example, let's say you go through the drive-thru one morning at Dunkin', because Dunkin' is my jam. And you get a coffee. Well, as they're handing you the coffee, maybe they didn't put the lid on all the way, so the coffee spills all over the inside of your car and all over your clothes. And you just know that for the rest of the day, this is a bad omen that your day is gonna be shit. Sorry for cursing, but I curse a lot. It's gonna be shit. So, catastrophizing. That's number 3. And the 4th is polarizing. So what that means is you see things as good or bad and there's no gray area. So you feel like you have to be perfect all of the time. And I was kind of a combination of catastrophizing and the last one, polarizing. So I was a combination of those two. And in order to, I won't say fix, but in order to become a more positive thinker, I had to kind of step back and do these exercises, not necessarily physical exercises, but mental exercises with myself to become a more positive thinker, because it's not going to happen overnight. It is hard work, it is a struggle, and it is a choice to be a positive thinker. So you always have a choice. You can automatically react on instinct, which to me is, a catastrophizer or polarizing, good, bad, I'm not being perfect, oh my God, the world's ending. So I have to take a step back in those situations and think, how am I going to react to this? How can I come out of this thinking more positively about the situation? So there's a couple of tips and tricks I want to share with you. So the first thing that you could potentially do is identify change. So if something or some facet of your life is creating tension or causing you to catastrophize or polarize or whatever the case may be, maybe you start working on that particular area. So as an example, polarizing. I was this way at work. I either had to be good or my work was crap. There was no middle ground, and I sought for perfection. So it really affected my well-being when I felt like I wasn't living up to this ideal of perfection I had in my head at work. So what I had to do was kind of change my way of thinking at work. I had to catch myself. It's really about being conscious in your thought process. So I had to catch myself when I started to feel tension, when I started to rub my head like this at work. I had to catch myself. And I had to enlist other people to help me. So, again, if you're having issues at work or something, have someone be your support system at work to say, hey, KO or Bev or Carmen or Chastity, whoever, hey, I see you rubbing your forehead, is everything okay? And they can help catch you in these moments so that you're more aware of them and you can change it in that moment. You can choose to positively think about the situation. You can change it right at that moment. So it's all about checking yourself. You're constantly checking yourself. And sometimes, those negative thoughts may slide right through and you may have a bad day and it may get the best of you, but tomorrow is a new day. You can check yourself. You can do a download at the end of the day and say, how do I feel today? How is my overall mood today? If you felt like crap or you felt stressed out, identify what stressed you out so that the next day, tomorrow, you can go into that situation more prepared. You can be more aware and you can choose to think positively about the situation. So another thing is to kind of be open to humor. So really what helps me out a lot is my husband. So some of you may know Chris, some of you may not know Chris, but Chris is like a huge clown. He just brings humor and light and love to pretty much every situation of my life. And if you have someone like that in your life, lean on them a little bit. Have them bring humor to the situation to diffuse the situation for you. Or you may have to be your own humor. Bring sarcasm into the situation, bring humor into the situation so it alleviates the pressure to, be perfect. It alleviates the pressure for catastrophizing. If the Dunkin' Donuts falls into your lap and it gets everywhere, be like, at least I can get a new outfit. Ha ha ha. Something like that to kind of diffuse the situation so your blood pressure doesn't go skyrocketing through the roof. And the other thing is practicing positive self-talk. So when you find yourself in these situations where you're thinking negatively, you catch yourself in a situation, it's important to combat that with a positive thought. So a few examples that I kind of looked up real fast, and I'll post them into the group, is it's too complicated. Alternatively, what you could say when you catch yourself in that thought is, I'll tackle it from a different angle. Okay? So another one, it's too radical of a change. So I get that a lot with people who start the challenge groups with us. This is such a radical change. I don't know if I can do it. Instead of saying something like that, saying it can't work, say something like, I can try to make it work. It's all about progress. So I'm going to post these positive thinking practices, these, mantras, if you will say, to the group so that you all can use these and practice these as you're catching yourself in the negative self-talk. And then the third thing is that actually really does help with the negative self-talk is living a healthy lifestyle. So that's what we're doing in these groups. This is the whole point of them is, and a lot of you have been in the challenge groups with me before, and some of you are new, haven't really experienced this yet, but as you go through these groups, you start to innately become more positive because you're setting aside the time for yourself. You're getting in your workout, which releases endorphins. You're eating healthy, so your body feels good. Your tummy's not bloated, you're feeling great, you have more energy, so you're more likely to be positive. So living a healthy lifestyle is another key to positive thinking and changing that frame of thought. So if you have any questions at all about how to combat negative thinking, please feel free to reach out, post your questions in the Challenge Tracker app. You can reach out to me directly either through Facebook Messenger, text message, phone call, or email. I'm available on all those modes of communication. I may not respond to you right away because I do work during the day, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. And again, I'll post these positive thinking practices in the group so you all can use them at your leisure. All right, ladies, have a wonderful day today. Bye.